Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of Makeup Rehab. This is the series where I discuss my low buy and my spending and empties throughout the year. So today we're going to be talking about the events of April, even though we are in May. I know this is going up a little bit later than usual, and for June I will make sure to get it up in the first week. That one is going to be a very exciting episode that you don't want to miss because we will be breaking down my purchases from the VIB sale since that was at the beginning of this month. So even though the sale has ended by the time you're watching this, and I have posted my VIB sale haul, if you missed it, I will link it up here as well as down below. But today we're talking about April and I'm going to hop right in. I'm going to condense this down a little bit today. I felt like things were getting a little confusing in my other videos, and besides talking the numbers, the topic for this month's Makeup Rehab is defining my replacement only low buy. I think I've decided that that is a good way for me to do my low buy, and I'll get into that a little later. So in the month of April, I used up a total of $110.16 worth of product. That is hair care, body care, skincare, and makeup. And this is the first month all year that I've hit over the $100 mark, so I'm really proud of that. As you guys know, I don't technically include my BoxyCharm in my spending for the month, so if we're ignoring BoxyCharm, I spent a total of $45.92 in the month of April. And what was included in those purchases was this kit from Briogeo. Now this is like half breaking my rules, but not really. But I had used up my only kind of deep cleaning type of shampoo, and I knew I really wanted to replace it with the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Coconut Oil Micro Exfoliating Shampoo. Wow, that is a mouthful. Now the full size of this product, which is what I was going to purchase, is over 50 Canadian dollars. And this set with these two products, though they are very small minis, was only 23 Canadian dollars. And that allows me to test out this product before I commit to the full size as well. And technically the product that these two are replacing retailed for $30, and I got both of these products for $23. So although it's kind of like breaking my low buy rules because I got this as well, it's okay to me because I ended up spending way less money and I get to try something that it's going to take me a long time to even get through these products, and I should be trying things before jumping in and spending over $50 on a hair care product. So I feel okay with this. And the other things I spent my beauty budget on were things like I needed new deodorant, stuff like that. So I didn't buy any makeup in the month of April. So this was my only like frivolous purchase, which I don't even really consider it to be that frivolous anyways. If we're talking about how much makeup I used up in the month of April, I used up $50.20 worth of makeup, which I feel really good about. And if you're curious on which products exactly those were, definitely check out the project pans that I have going on now because I discussed those in more detail there. And you may have noticed I skipped my April empties video because I just had too many videos that needed to go up. I didn't want to push my April empties like halfway through the month of May and then want to do another empties video at the very end of May. So at the end of this month you can expect to see all of the products I used up in both April and May together in one longer video, but today we're talking about the numbers. 20 items entered my makeup inventory this month. That would include these two products as well as the items in my BoxyCharm, and I count every single pan of product as one, and I used up 7 products in the month of April. Now this brings my annual total of my empties subtracting my spending for the whole year to still in the positive by $207.97. I'm feeling really good about that number, especially considering the VIB sale just happened, so I'm really curious to see how my numbers are going to change and how much that like bank of money is going to drop next month when we discuss the numbers then. I think I did pretty good at the VIB sale. I did not go crazy. I did not break my low buy in any way. Speaking of, let's talk about defining replacements for my personal low buy. Now I've watched a ton of these videos and I love supporting everyone else in their low buy or no buy that they are doing this year, and many others who are doing a replacement only low buy are only buying something when that category gets down to 0 or 1. So you have like one other product in case one runs out of something that's really vital. So for example, they would not buy a new brow pencil until they only have a little bit of one brow pencil left. So they don't have to go a few days with no brows, but they don't have a stockpile of products either. Now for me personally, the purpose of my low buy is one, I just need to monitor my spending a little better, but it's not necessarily because I feel I have too much. I do have a pretty large collection, but I don't feel as though it's a super ridiculous amount, so I'm not necessarily trying to lower my numbers significantly. There are definitely areas in my collection I am trying to lower my numbers, which is part of the reason I do so many project pans, as well as trying to transition into cruelty-free beauty. But for me, depending on the category, I would love to have a 1 in, 1 out rule with decluttering not counting. So I used up a full-size clarifying shampoo, and I was allowed to buy a full-size clarifying shampoo, but I chose to buy this product instead. I use up a full can of dry shampoo, I can repurchase, or I can buy a full can of dry shampoo. Now with some categories I am including minis and samples to like in a reasonable amount. If I use like a foil pack, I'm not then going to use that as an excuse to go buy a full-size product. But say a mini lipstick, even those take a very long time. So my most recent example is I used up a mini tinted lip balm, and it took me quite a while. Now tinted lip balms, I had 3 in my collection and I used up 1. So I purchased 1, and this is a full size. This was in my haul. So for me personally, it's a 1 in, 1 out rule with some exceptions. My skincare collection is out of control, especially when it comes to cleansers. So when I use up a full-size cleanser, I will not be purchasing another one because I have 6 more on backup. Now, talking about powder products, again, because I don't feel super overwhelmed with the number that I have in my collection personally, for pressed powder products, I'm using that 1 in, 1 out rule in terms of hitting pan. So if I hit pan in one bronzer, I'm going to allow myself to buy another bronzer. Now that may not make sense to a lot of people, but it makes sense to me, and that is how I want to do it. I do not want to buy a new eyeshadow palette until I hit pan in 12, 16, however many shades in my current eyeshadow collection. Now the replacements do not count towards BoxyCharm, which I discuss at length in these makeup rehab series. BoxyCharm is my one treat to myself, and I don't want to cancel it, and I don't want to have those products negatively affect my makeup collection, but I do factor those products in. So earlier this year I hit pan on a pressed powder, which according to my personal rules meant that I was allowed to purchase a new powder if I so chose to. However, a few months prior to that, we received the Pretty Vulgar loose powder in our BoxyCharm. My powder, like little container, is completely full at the moment. I would have to switch containers to accommodate purchasing another powder, and I'm just comfortable where my powder collection is. Back to the example of bronzers, I could use a few like lighter to mid-tone for my skin tone bronzers. I have a lot of bronzers that are slightly too dark for me, Because when I first started purchasing makeup, I was just taking color recommendations from my favorite YouTubers, even if they were a little bit lighter than me, thinking it doesn't make that big of a difference. Well, it does, because I can only really use those bronzers in the summer. And I have the same issues with my highlight collection. I have an abundance of highlighters and I love all of them. I don't want to declutter any just for the sake of decluttering. However, if I hit pan on one of my highlighters, I would like to use that, like seize that opportunity to buy a new one that would be at a lighter shade. This is getting hard to explain. Say I hit pan in a highlighter this summer. I'm allowed to go purchase a new highlighter, but I'm going to be cognizant of the fact that I have a lot of highlighters that are too deep for me for most of the year, like 75% of the year. I could get a lot of use out of them in the summertime, but the rest of the year, they're too deep. So even if I'm purchasing the highlighter in the summer, I need to be cognizant of the fact that I should buy the lightest shade so it can work for me for the majority of the year going forward. Okay, sorry, my camera died when I was in the middle of that long, rambly explanation. We now have Wyatt in the room here. Ta-ta-ta. No. Wyatt is turning 2 in 2 days from the time I'm filming this. Not that this is relevant at all to this video, but I cannot believe it. To summarize and wrap up, my definition of a replacement for my collection is 1 in, 1 out, or 1 pan, 1 in. I hit pan on one eyeshadow, I can buy one eyeshadow. If I want to purchase a 14 pan eyeshadow palette, I need to hit pan in 14 eyeshadows that are currently in my collection. I hope that makes sense. Again, for me, the purpose of my low buy is to just be cognizant of what's coming in and what is going out. I have never tracked my empties in that way before. More kids are joining the frame back there. Okay. So that is how I'm personally tracking my low buy and keeping myself accountable, and I've done really well so far this year. The only extra products entering my collection that haven't left already are through BoxyCharm, which again I'm not including. I would love to know how you are operating your personal low buy. If you have done videos similar to this, then definitely let me know in the comments below. I would love to watch. I'm really proud of how I've been doing so far this year. Being in the green by over $200 feels really good. I don't know how high I want that number to be by the end of the year, but I do want to keep it in the green all year. I hope after the Sephora VIB sale that we don't drop into the red for even 1 month. That is not the purpose of doing this, but I'm pretty sure that I did well enough that we will remain in the green. But he's looking in the monitor at himself. Do you see? Who's this? Hello? Can you see? Sorry, this update has been a little bit all over the place. The zoo is here and it's made it a little hard to stay on track and get my points across. I usually plan out these videos a little bit better, so I apologize for that. But if you enjoyed this update anyways, then definitely give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. You want to say bye?
Bye.